Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. So today I am creating this video in tribute to our beloved Mel Thompson. There were a few things that she loved, but if you knew her, we all knew that she loved two very things, and that was eyeshadow and Wayne Goss. And so I figured that if I'm gonna get back on YouTube and create content, it has to be starting out with something that she truly loved. And like I said, Mel loved eyeshadows and she loved Wayne Goss. So I'm gonna be reviewing the Wayne Goss Tourmaline eyeshadow palette along with his two new eye kohls. I will be showing you how I created both of these eye looks and sharing with you my final thoughts on the collection and if I feel like it is worth your buy. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today and clicking on my video. And if you are new, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And let's get right into this video. So before I get into the video, I just wanted to say a few things about Mel. I don't want to get too emotional in this video because that's not why you're here, but I loved her dearly. I was able to, for a short amount of time, connect with her personally, and I will always be grateful for the opportunity to do that. I remember the first time I did speak with her, I was so giddy and so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, it's Mel Thompson. Like, oh my gosh, it's Mel Thompson and I'm working with her. And I mean, that was just last year. I was not expecting that to happen in my entire lifetime. And the first time that we actually talked, one-on-one, she just flooded me with compliments and I couldn't believe it because I'm like, oh my gosh, Mel Thompson complimented me on my eyeshadow? Not from the eyeshadow queen, not at all. Like, it was like, I'm not worthy of these words, She must just be saying that to be nice. And then the more I got to know her, I was like, no, she truly is just the sweetest and the kindest person. She extended nothing but love to me, and I love her dearly. I will miss her so much. And I'm so sorry that we lost this gem. I'm so sorry to her husband and her children, to my Kelsey girl, so all of us who love her and will miss her dearly. I still can't really wrap my mind around it. I really want to believe that it's not true. And, I don't have words. But one thing I do know is that Mel loved us. She loved YouTube. She loved creating content. And so that's what kind of motivated me this morning. I got up out of bed and I said, you know what? If I had an opportunity to ask Mel what she wanted me to do, she'd say, girl, get your Wayne Goss video up because that palette is bomb. So that's what I'm doing today. And so, like I said, I'm dedicating this to her because I know that, she would have. Well, first of all, Mel's video is already up. So if you haven't seen her video, go ahead and watch that. But this is just my, just me sharing my thoughts about Mel and how much I loved her and love her, not loved her, love her. She's such a beautiful soul. I will always remember her and cherish her. And I'm so thankful that because of YouTube and because of her artistry, we will always have her. We can always go and watch her and listen to her and remember her. So wiping the tears and getting into this review, like I said before, we have the new Wayne Goss. This is the Tourmaline eyeshadow palette and collection because Wayne Goss also came out with two new eye kohls. And the formulation of this eyeshadow palette is very on par with the formulations of all of his other eyeshadow palettes. So we have, in this particular palette, we have one traditional matte shade. The rest of these shades are either shimmer shades, and then we have his pearlescent metallic shade that I really do love and enjoy. So giving you guys some quick swatches of this palette, we have this first shade that Wayne Goss refers to as more so like an oyster pink shade. It's a beautiful shimmer satin shade. I would say this is more of like satin-like shade, very beautiful. I'm actually wearing it today as a highlight and we'll see that later on in the demonstration. Next, we have this beautiful gold shade Once again, more of like that satin type of formulation. It's a shimmer, but there's no like chunky particles or anything like that. It's just fine and so smooth. Then we get into this beautiful, more of like a shimmer satin like burgundy shade, which I think is gorgeous. It's so beautiful and very pigmented. When I used it in the eye demo, I was like, whoa, okay, we're coming out the gate, full pigment. One matte shade in the palette, this is a matte brown shade, and I'm actually using this shade today on the face as a bronzer, and we'll see that later on in the demonstration. We have another satin light shade, and this is more of a, I guess like a more traditional burgundy shade, whereas this shade right here, I would say is like almost like an eggplant type of shade. And then lastly, this pearlescent metallic light shade. And I hate to even say the word metallic because there's no shimmer particles. You don't feel the shimmer, you just see the like pearlescent type of effect that it has onto the eyes. And then we have two new eye kohls. So the first eye kohl is going to be in the shade Copper Flame. And I'm gonna swatch that right here. If you know me, you know I love the Wayne Goss eye kohl formula. It's like the one eye kohl I have used consistently for well over a year. The brown shade is by far my favorite, if I can find it real quick. Here is the shade Rich Hazel, my favorite brown eye kohl. Love it, love it. So like his eye kohls, I stand behind 1000%. They are the best. The second new one is going to be the shade Tiger's Eye, and that is the shade right there. So beautiful. This is more of like a copper bronze shade. This one has more of that burgundy hue to it. So getting into the eye look, I started out with the eye kohl because one of the things that I love about Wayne Goss's eye kohls is that you can literally use them as eyeshadow, as bases. They blend out effortlessly. Like I have used his eye kohl as like my one and done eyeshadow with the shade Rich Hazel, that brown shade. It's a matte brown shade. Blended it into the crease and like I'm out the door. So wanted to go in with the eye kohl in the shade Copper Flame, blend that into the crease and lay it down. And as you can see, this shade has blended very easily into the eye. I love, love, love them. And they have really good lasting power as well. So they blend well and have good lasting power. After that, I went in with this shade right here, that kind of eggplant burgundy shade. This was the shade that I was telling you about that was extremely pigmented. And I was like, whoa, whoa, okay, bring it back, bring it back. Nonetheless, blended beautifully into the eye. So I packed that onto the outer edge of the eye, kind of blended it in toward the middle of the eye. And I did that for both eyes. Then on this eye, I went into the shade, this more burgundy-like shade, blended that right into the inner corner of the eye. Then I went in with this pearlescent metallic light shade, and I used my finger, which I think it's best to use your finger. You can definitely use a brush, but I love just like the shimmer effect and the concentration of the shadow when I use my finger. So just took my finger, blended that out, and I love this pearlescent look that we get from that shimmer. And then on this eye, I went in with the gold shade right here and used that for the inner portion of the eyelid. And then for the lower lash line, went in with the matte brown shade on both of my eyes and smoked it out, blended beautifully. For the inner corner, went in with this pink satin shimmer and put that right along here. It's kind of now gone from crying, but I put that in the inner corner for here and here. And then I used that shade as well for the inner corner. And then I wanted to add just a little bit of like sparkle and shine. So I went back in with this, this pearlized shade and put that right in the inner corner. And there were my eye looks. Just very simple, but such a lovely formulation. I think this palette might be my favorite one, and I have all of his eyeshadow palettes. Thank you so much to Wayne Goss and Beautylish for sending this over complimentary to me. Forgot to put that out there, but I have all of his eyeshadow palettes. I love the formulation of all of them, but this color story I think is perfect for this upcoming fall season, and I truly do love the combination of shades that he put in this one. This one and the pearl one are I don't know which one would be my favorite. These two are definitely my favorite out of all the ones that he has. But I don't know which one would be my most favorite. I don't know yet. I'll let y'all know. But for sure, if this is not 1, this is like 1.5. I don't know. It is definitely between these two. But I really, really think this one is just stunning. Every shade performed very beautifully and blended out very nicely. Then for my lower lash line and my tight line, I went in with this shade called Tiger's Eye, this beautiful bronzy shade, and I applied it here and, like I said, on the tight line. And then on the face, because I firmly believe that Wayne Goss's eyeshadow palettes are also face palettes. And of course, that is contingent upon your complexion. But I do feel like a lot of times the variations of highlight shades or the variations of shimmer shades that he puts in his palette can work for a plethora of complexions. So today I went in with the matte brown shade, used that as a bronzer on the face. It blended really nicely on the face. When I first applied it on this side, I actually went in with too much shadow, so I had to blend it in and like blend it in so it didn't look like too concentrated, but it did blend in really nicely. I went in with less on this side, and I really actually like the tone of this brown. It's a nice neutral brown, like not too cool, not too warm. So I think if you're about my complexion, maybe a shade or 2 deeper, you could also use this as a bronzer for the face. And then I went in with this salmon pink oyster shade for a highlight, and I think it looks beautiful. It's not too cool toned either. It has a little bit of a cooler tone to it, but it's not too cool toned to where it's not complementary to the eye look and the whole look of the face. And I definitely think you could use this gold shade as well as a highlight if you are also of a deeper complexion. I think it will look beautiful on the face. So I highly recommend this whole entire collection. Like I said, I am a tried and true stan of the eye coals. Like every time he comes out with new ones, I'm like, yes, more eye coals. I love the shades. But like I said, I love the formulation. They glide on effortlessly. And like I said, you can use these as a traditional eyeliner, or you can also use them as bases for your eye looks, or just as your whole entire eye look in and of itself. They are just so creamy and blendable. And then this eyeshadow palette, definitely feel like this is one to have if this color story is appealing to you. And especially if you wanted to get one of Wayne Goss's eyeshadow palettes, but you weren't really sure which one to start out with, I highly recommend this one, and also the pearl one. But this one too, since this video is about this one. So this collection does launch today, September the 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if you're interested in it, I will have the link down below for you to purchase it. And guys, that is it. Let me know your thoughts on these eye looks, on this collection. Let me know if you are interested in it. I'd love to hear your comments down below. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.